All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. And thanks for tuning in. And this is an educational channel. And we try to uh, tune you in, turn you on to things that you might not know about because you would have to do some digging to do it. And this is a segment for the diggers called Your Blind Side. Um, when you really get into your rabbit holes, uh, they can become pigeonholes. And you might not be able to see the bigger picture or might not be able to see other stories or trends that are outside of your purview. And I'm trying to inform you of that. But this is episode 144, and I'm going to stop doing these on a daily basis and just do them as needed from here on in. But uh, mainly because I've lost interest um, in the info war entirely, because it's just an insult to your intelligence how stupid everything has become. Um, you know, whatever is going on, I believe that the Patriots have won and or are ahead by 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and the other team's quarterback is injured. um, and so whatever we're watching is not for my consumption, it's for somebody else's, to wake somebody else up, or to, because all the Patriots, I mean, we can see right through the stuff. We may not know uh, what's going on, but we know that whatever we're being shown is just a very poorly produced uh, reenactment or dramatization. um, so your best bet is to, you know, uh, just take at least your concentration off the info war and work on your own personal development, which is your red pilling, your diet and exercise routines, and your discipline, and your meditation, and your consciousness raising, and your flexibility or yoga, and your contribution to the planet in whatever way that you feel like you are destined to do. And um, so I think that is, especially for the Patriots, because in spite of what they have dug up, which has been invaluable, what they haven't dug up is paralyzing them. They haven't dug into their own conditionings. Many of them haven't dug into their own conditionings and um, values, their belief systems, their habits. And so this is the perfect time to, especially now that you've developed these research and digging skills, use them on yourself. Now, um, this is what I've kind of gotten distracted with is, well, a lot of the World Cup goings on and the NBA goings on, and I don't ever watch these games in full, but I watch the highlights and I listen to some of the commentary, and take um if it's rigged, it's no reason not to watch it, because people watch movies and that's rigged. You know they're acting in that. But if these are rigged, they really are acting a lot better than the even the Hollywood actors. They all should be getting Oscars because it all looks pretty damn real. There's not a lot of stuff you watch in sports where, like, the person is not fulfilling the role that they look like they should be fulfilling. They celebrate at the right time, they're looking in the right place, they um, they're just doing all the right type of emoting, that you would know if you played these sports, that this is how you would feel if this was really meaningful. So, I know actors would, they have to do takes. You can't do that in a stadium, with thousands of people. So, these people are really very spot on. I never see people doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You know, because they're acting. But I know it's rigged. You know, I know it can be rigged very easily. Um, but it's just not as systematic as I think we think it is. But one thing that I think is rigged is uh, a lot of the collusion that's going on among the owners. You know, there was the Shadur Sanders thing in the NFL. All the owners basically colluded not to take him for a long time to punish Deion Sanders. That's my take on it. You know, you don't have a guy who's projected to be a first round draft pick at quarterback to fall all the way to the fifth round. And then um, the same type of thing is happening in the NBA with, I think, with the Lakers and the Celtics. Now, this may not happen. Nobody's talking about it at all, but there's a lot of stuff going on with the Lakers. First of all, they got this Luka Doncic trade for Anthony Davis, which is the biggest heist ever. Anthony Davis is a good player, but he's always injured, and he doesn't you know he doesn't love the game. I think you can tell. um, and he's a great defender. He can roll on offense sometimes, but he's just a shadow of his self from 7 8 years ago because he's older and he's been injury prone. And um, and Luka Doncic is like one of the best scorers in the history of the league. He's got other problems, but he proved that he could get you to the finals. Um, Even though Jalen Brunson was on that team. Um, and So he goes to Los Angeles, like the biggest market out there, and LeBron is on the team, but they don't do anything because they don't have the other pieces that they need. And somehow they discover Austin Reeves, who's kind of like a budding star, even though he was undrafted. And so they finally and LeBron is like he's the deep state. I don't know, he's like the useful idiot that does everything that the deep state wants him to do. I don't think he's like part of it, but he's just a useful idiot. And but he's very manipulative, and he knows how to be a deep state operative, kind of. And um so it's already suspicious that they make this deal. But then, so they play out a couple seasons and nothing really, special happens. Luca gets hurt, he's averaging 32 a game or something. And then he doesn't even play in the playoffs the whole time. And the Lakers actually win a series that they're not supposed to win. Meanwhile, um, the Lakers are like kissing LeBron's butt by drafting his son, who's not good at all, and drafting him in the second round and giving him a guaranteed contract that hardly anybody who gets drafted that low gets one of those. And so now he's on the team that his dad is on, and um, you know, it's total nepotism. But now um, LeBron walked away from all that, and um, there's like a sweepstakes for him, and he's saying he doesn't want to play for the money. So you can sign him for cheap, 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 way cheaper than anybody of his abilities, even though they're declining. But he's still one of the best players, top 20 for sure in the league, probably top 10 still. And you know, so he's going to go to a contender. But what's funny is that now that LeBron is gone, who is the Lakers' top selling jersey? You're like, oh, it's got to be Luca. No. Well, then it's definitely Austin. No, it's Bronny. Bronny's got the top selling jersey on the team now. So they even though and also Bronny he's improved a lot. They JJ Redick is the coach, and he's coached him up, and he's always been a pretty decent defender. He's undersized, but you know, he's a very bad offensive player, but he's getting better. And they actually gave him some minutes in not in garbage time, but in competitive play, even in the playoffs. He was because Luca and Austin were both injured, so he played a little bit, and they actually shipped off Marcus Smart, or he didn't sign an extension or whatever, and he's now playing for Houston. Bronny can kind of slide into Marcus Smart's role. Um, but the real dastardly thing is, I think that this is still a continuation of the league's collusion with some of the owners to get their, to create narratives and hype, especially around the storied franchises. So we had this Jaylen Brown trade, which is the worst trade that's been made since Luca, where he goes to Philadelphia from Boston, where he was just had his best season. And you could talk about his analytics and stuff, and there's some merit to that. But to trade him for Paul George, who is Paul George is like 6 years older. He's totally unreliable as far as how many games he's going to play. He's okay when he plays. Um, he's not Jaylen Brown or anything close to that. Um, he might fit a little bit better with the Celtics, but I just have this sneaking feeling that um, they made that trade because they know that they're about to sign LeBron, and so they're even though nobody has mentioned the Celtics as being a possible landing spot for LeBron, but the three storied franchises in the league are really the Knicks and the Celtics and the Lakers. But really, especially the Celtics and the Lakers. The Knicks got theirs, and I think, I don't even know if this signing would make the Celtics the favorites or anything. I don't think so, but it would again be for marketing purposes. And I think that Bronny most likely is going to make the Lakers team again because he's got the best-selling jersey, and he's a marketing cash cow. Okay, you probably didn't want to know all that, but this is just to keep your eyes open for a lot of deep states. The NBA, Adam Silver, he's they were doing a lot of the woke and deep state bidding, and so I think this is like their long-term play, and they had it planned out because general managers, especially Brad Stevens for the Celtics, he doesn't make moves like this um, that are this bad. And even Nico Harrison for Dallas, he doesn't make moves that are that bad. I mean, he just got off a finals appearance with Luca by making some great moves to get some big men and defenders to just to surround Luca with. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. So uh, there's something that I smell a rat. We'll see how it all plays out, and maybe I'll come back and talk about it. But meanwhile, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and remember to watch your blind side